Hello, and welcome to today's video, where I will be talking about something that is very prevalent in our society, something that many people experience, many people have to deal with on a daily basis, but it's often not talked about. It's often overlooked because it's a very dark subject. It's a thing not many people want to admit is out there. But it runs more rampant than you may have ever thought. Today, I'm talking about cults. A cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. A relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. A misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Now, if you've noticed in that definition that it seems like cults are mostly religious. In fact, it seems like many people would think cults are only religious. And am I trying to say that most cults are not religious? Well, no, I'm not trying to say that. Because in fact, most cults are religious. They have some sort of twisted idea of a religion, or they simply make up their own religion based on whoever the leader of the cult is. But I would say that not all cults are religious. There are cults that are formed around things that have nothing to do with religion, or supposedly have nothing to do with religion. And there are cults that many people don't even realize are cults. And I'm not talking about just the members of the cults. I'm talking about society in general don't realize that it's a cult. Now, if you would like an example of such a thing, let me refer to my lighting. The red and the blue. But what could that mean? Well, it's referring to politics. You see, politics, much like religion, is something that many people disagree on, many people argue about, many people fight over, many people have had wars over. It's something that's very controversial to talk about. And much like with a religion, politics, you have large groups of people or small groups of people, depending on what the party is, fighting, arguing, and following a leader. Many of them mindlessly, many of them without any real clue as to what their leader is really trying to do. Many of them just pointing fingers at the other side and saying, bad. I'm right. You're wrong. Anyone who is not with us is against us. What does that sound like? Because to me, that sounds like a cult. A group of people mindlessly following a leader that they have no business in putting their faith and trust in. Politics have cult-like behavior. Political parties are cults. And it goes deeper than that surface level meaning. You see, many, not all, I'm sure, but many political figures are in actual cults, actual religious cults. Many of them are into some very dark cults that practice some very bad things, allegedly. Of course, there is not much proof of this because they keep it hidden. They keep it hidden that they are in cults for the most part. But what they don't keep hidden as much are the ties to the secret societies. You see, there's a fine line between a secret society, a secretive organization, and a cult. If you are practicing things behind closed doors or just having meetings behind closed doors, that is automatically a reason for suspicion. Now, am I saying that any secretive operation, any secretive meeting is a cult? No. But when you have people in a political system with the power and with the money, and they just so happen to meet up at a specific place at a specific time together with no explanation to the outside world, something very, very odd is happening. Something is being plotted. Now, some may argue that that is for the good of society. Maybe it's something that is being discussed that they don't want the enemy to hear, and therefore they cannot tell us. Maybe it's something like that. Well, I would be more likely to believe that if it weren't for the things that they have been caught lying to the people about. The things that they have done to hurt their own people. Hurt innocent people. Brainwash innocent people. Control innocent people. Those types of things that governments do in America, for the most part. The government does not kill the people in a public way. It's not proud openly of the fact that it kills its own people. It knows it's wrong. That's why it hides it. It knows that if the people were to figure out the things that it's doing, it'd be very bad. In America, the people do have power. We have power to act against the government. But we don't. Not on a large enough scale to actually stop what is happening to us. And that is because many people do not know what is actually happening to us. We are being poisoned in the water we drink and in the food we eat. We are being poisoned by the electric waves, the radio waves, the microwaves, all of the waves coming off of everything. We're being spied on through all electronic devices. All of them. We're being watched. Not just through devices, but in person. Everywhere you go, there is someone who will see you, they will hear you, and they will know what you're up to. You might not realize that someone you think you can trust is someone that's plotting to kill you. There are very few people in this world who are not brainwashed, who have not joined a cult of some sort, who are not so firmly planted in one side of one mindset that they can't take into consideration that the other side are still valid human beings. They cannot take into consideration that the other side might have a point. There is no middle. There is no true middle. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone has a side. Everyone has things that they cannot compromise on. And that is the objective. That was what was set out to be done. Because when everybody is bickering and fighting and arguing and killing each other over minute things, over things that they should put aside, things that they should be able to get over, things that they're not life or death, they're not things that make you a horrible person one way or the other, and yet people die over these things. Families are torn apart over these things because we are all brainwashed to think that there is always a right and a wrong. If it's not good, it's bad. If it's not bad, it's good. There is a middle ground. The world is not black and white. The world is not good and evil. It's somewhere in the middle. And the ones telling you there is a good and there is an evil, the ones telling you in politics that there is a side that you must choose, that one side is better than the other, are liars, thieves, murderers. They tell you things to get you to fight amongst yourself and the ones around you, the other ones who really are powerless in the situation. The people at the top, they're all getting along. They appear as enemies to us. but they have the same goal, and that is to control us. They pretend to hate each other to control us. Their fighting makes us fight. They are cult leaders. And like most cult leaders, they are controlling us through manipulation. Their means of manipulation is flat out lying and faking the things that are happening, the things that make us angry, the things that make us fight. They stage events, they stage controversial things to get the people all riled up, to get us fighting one another. What good does it do? What good does it do to harm your fellow citizen? To yell at and hate your fellow citizen? What good does it do to pick a side in a situation where both sides are bad? Both sides have the same end goal. They may have different surface level actions they take to achieve that end goal, but they are both working towards the goal of ruining us, all of us, the citizens, the powerless. They're using us for everything they can get. We are nothing but mere puppets to them. The ones that are doing this plotting, the ones that are pitting us against each other, aren't even the true leaders. You see, the true leaders are something or someone that we will never see. The true leaders, the leaders of our leaders, and by our leaders I mean our destroyers, our oppressors, the people crushing us under their feet and taking our lives from us. The people manipulating us to get what they want. The government uses its people to get whatever they can get so that they can use the people of other countries and the leaders of other countries. And every government does it. They abuse their own people so they can get at a high enough point of status to be able to either mingle with and befriend or attack, overthrow, and oppress other countries. Now, the countries that are friends, they're very close-knit at the high levels. I would wager to say they probably have the same overarching leader. And then the countries that don't get along, those ones must have conflicting ideologies at the top. They must have different leaders. Are there countries who are immune to this? Possibly at the world scale, But as far as a country by country basis, I believe every country is keeping their people under mind control. Because like I said earlier, the people have the true power. The people could establish their own government. The government is very undernumbered compared to the people. If the people of any country decided to cooperate instead of living in fear and hatred of one another, we would form a more peaceful planet. All in all, I would like to end this video by saying, don't fall for cults. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.